check.
Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, looking so clean, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy.
Yeah,
Easy,
yeah,
we make it look easy.
yeah. I do what I want, bring them to the front, eat them off for lunch. Roll up like a big blunt, you know I'm a skunk, pockets on big lump.
Big love.
And you know I make the show run, don't try to act like you never seen a real one. Ice water got you frozen, wetter than the ocean, baby got motion. I walk like lit like strobe lights, baby I got insight, I be in my own right. Ooh, been around the block, yeah I'm hot like woo. Been around the block, yeah I do what I do.
Hello friends, Jong here again with another vlog. This time with the Insta360 X4 with the DJI Mic Mini 2 connected wirelessly via Bluetooth to the camera. And if you're asking if you can connect a DJI mic to an Insta360 camera, yes, at least on the X4 you can, and this is how it sounds. I actually have a video where I connected it via the receiver and wirelessly via Bluetooth, comparing them both. And of course the receiver will be a little bit more stable of a connection, but you'll need not only a mount for the receiver but the little base to connect the receiver to the Insta360 X3, X4 on the side, on the stitch line, so you don't see the receiver itself. So that's an even more cumbersome setup. And then you have to have another receiver for the USB-C connection so that you can connect the 3.5mm cord. It's the whole thing. But the topic for this video is whether you should upgrade to the Insta360 X5. I know all of us have seen dozens of videos, creators reviewing, testing, showing finally that we can do at-home repair kits for the lens, because that's usually one of the main problems with 360 cameras. They have this spherical lens on the camera and it gets scratched easily, and when it's scratched you're kind of screwed. I also made a video last year when the X4 came out that I was upgrading from the X3 because the X4 actually has this. Right now you're seeing me touch the plastic glass protector, and that's already a lifesaver. The earlier version of that, you have to stick it on to the camera. This one is screw top. That was already a game changer for me. That was like my main reason, because my X3, which I loved and I used whenever I went on trips and went swimming, went to the beach, I actually had to send my X3 twice back to Insta360 for repairs every time I saw that scratch. And I'm one of those people that don't get protection, so I had to pay a couple of $100 every time, and that was so painful. So when X4 came out and had this screw top protector, I figured that would be super duper easy to put on and take off. So if I'm going to do something a little bit more active, I'll put it on, and if I'm not, I can leave it out. So of course when you put things onto the lens, anything additional makes it a little less clear, prone to more glare. You might be seeing glare right now. So it was kind of funny that the entire marketing campaign of the X5 revolved around that at-home repair kit. It's $30 for a single lens, and there's two lenses on the camera, so if you scratch both of them you have to buy two sets. Not terribly impressed about it. Don't get me wrong, I am getting the X5 at some point, particularly because Insta360 says it performs better in low light, and that's usually one of the weaknesses of 360 cameras, because the resolution is not just one side, it has to cover a spherical 360 degrees, so your 8K is spread across 360 degrees and not necessarily just the front or the back, or 180. So essentially, back of the napkin math, if you have an 8K camera, finally we're doing essentially 4K everywhere, maybe? I'm not too sure on the technical specs around there. But because I shoot a lot of nightlife and I have done 360 degree coverage for burlesque shows, essentially like an AR VR experience for a show, I'll link the playlist down in the description right now. And most of those venues are indoors at night, so it's always in low light conditions. And anything or any camera that will help me shoot better and easier at night with less edits, I will look at very, very thoroughly. So at some point I'm gonna upgrade this unit to the X5. However, one of the things that I've seen other reviewers say that we're still locked at 30. There's no 8K 60 yet, so you can't do slow-mo, crisp, sharp views. I'm not particularly concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the ability to switch the lens easily when it gets scratched. Because when you're using 360 cameras, like I already understand, like this view right now, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing. 360 cameras are best in kind of short bursts. That's why it's an action camera. It's like quick actions, weird angles where it can never go. So if I go like this, I can still lock on my head. Okay. That's cool. Okay. I'm just not extremely overwhelmed with the upgrade from the X4 to the X5. And I'm gonna link what Becca, one of my favorite reviewers, said as well, where the more sponsored videos there are, meaning people are paid to review something which is actually supposed to be a conflict of interest. You're not supposed to be paid to give your opinion on something, because regardless of what your principles are, it really affects your opinion. I think it's because a lot of smoke and mirrors that the upgrade from X4 and X5 wasn't really that great, and the window's so short. Now that I'm talking this through, maybe I'll try as long as I can to hold off upgrading and enjoy my X4 first before upgrade. But there are some other updates to the Insta360 X series cameras that I really love, that has pros and cons as well. But heading to the gym, we'll talk about that when I get back.
Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, looking so clean, yeah, we make it look easy.
What a wonderful spring day. Ignore the car alarm. I'm in the park, but it's still New York. Just coming back from the gym. So once we get back to the apartment, I'll talk about some of the cool Insta360 X4, X5 accessories that I use. And what I wanted to highlight right now is the lens protector for the X4. It's screw-on, so it's easier to take on and off and replace when it does get scratched if you do something a little bit too dangerous or too active. But usually what people say is like the lens protectors like these, the ones that you put on top of the screen, causes more flares, not as good quality, which is true because you're adding more layers between the image and the sensor. Also, I lost my DJI Mic Mini 2 magnet, so I'm holding. I'm going to clip it a little bit later, but what I wanted to do right now is the first half of this video was all with the lens protector. So I'm gonna take it off now so you can actually see for yourself how the image looks like with and without the lens protector. I'm clipping this mic. I'm so sorry for the audio. I'd rather have it a little bit closer to my chest, but I don't want it to fall off, so I'll clip it on my collar. So now, boop, it's as simple as that. Hang it out on the front as well. I should have its case, but I don't. I left it, and having to send your X3 to the shop to get fixed. I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks and pay a couple of $100s to have the lens repaired. Horrible. So the X5 at-home repair kit is super duper appealing, but I already have this twist-on lens protector though. Yeah, I know, I understand, like, but if you forget to put the lens protector, and then it still gets scratched. So, okay, that's a bummer. Rewind the video back a couple of minutes. How does that look? And how does it look right now? It's a lot cleaner, a lot sharper. It's have less glare. I think the sunny situation will highlight the glare on the lens protector a little bit more. But is it that much different? I'm gonna review these footage a lot in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna make myself wait as long as I can to see whether I'm gonna upgrade to the X5, because it is $550. The sucky part about that is they do these things when you update. The X4 batteries won't work on the X5, so I have to get other X5 batteries. It's just, I know it's, you know, money making reasons. That is super duper annoying. I wish I could use older batteries for newer cameras like what DJI does with the action cameras. So the DJI 4 batteries still works on the DJI i5 batteries, so the DJI 5 batteries have a little bit longer battery life. So I wish it was like that, but another deterrent on why I'm gonna try my best not to update. But I will eventually, whether it's the X5 or the X6. I'm thinking if the X5 gets a firmware update where it can do 8K 60, I'm not going to use it that much, but I want a few more reasons apart from the at-home lens repair kit, because I kind of have a version of that with the X4, and the X4 does things amazingly already. But there are a couple of accessories that I really love too, so how about we talk about right now? All right, we're back in the apartment talking about some of my favorite accessories for the X3, X4, future X5 360 cameras. I'm back with the DJI Action 5 Pro, still with the DJI Mic Mini 2. But what I wanted to start is something that a lot of earlier users of the Insta360 X3, X4 cameras, they kind of complain about that. Yes, the camera itself is tiny, but you'll always need a stick and you can't really pocket a stick. And this little foldable stick contraption is one of the coolest, most favorite things that I have for my X4. So this is the foldable selfie stick. This actually came out with the Peter McKinnon bundle, but you can get just the stick itself. I like the fact that, you know, it has its quarter 20 lock mechanism there. It does extend enough for you to be able to get that magic stick effect, floating drone-like effect, really take advantage of the 360 camera. It folds down to a very compact size. There are some versions of this stick that has this Bluetooth remote, so if you have the camera farther away from you, you can still turn on and off the recording of the X4, X5, so that's pretty cool. And when you press this button, it folds down. Something that I like even more so is, you know, usually there is a cap for your 360 camera, and you might put this in your pocket. This is an extra thing to carry around. This might get lost too. So I like the fact that they have the lens cover, lens protector strung to the stick itself, and has this really cool way of being able to strap everything, even the strap for the strap or the string for the strap, in a way that it is neat and compact. So I absolutely love this thing. And there's more. Super cool. This is something that I, you know, whenever I buy my sticks, my stands, I have to buy a little tripod feet for them. This one not only has it stowed within the barrel of the stick itself, but it self-deploys. So you just pull it out, boom, there you go. Here it is. Super cool. So if you are doing your vlogging thing, you're filming, you want to film yourselves, find a flat surface, boop, this is super duper cool. But as much as I love this, let me just stow it again because it's super cool. I love it. Fold that down. There's a way where you can put his cover around these and go like, strap it around like that. And as a bonus trick, so I have another DJI Mic Mini 2 here. This is what I wirelessly connect with this camera, because this strap has a little loop there. Sometimes I just do like this. Boop, look at that. Right? And this actually fits in a decent coat pocket in a looser fitting pants. And this actually makes you use the Insta360 a whole lot more on a daily basis. But again, as much as I love this thing, and I think this is a game changer whenever you do have an Insta360 camera, you really can't maximize a 360 camera with just this length of a stick. To really see the uniqueness of having a 360 view on your footage, where you can reframe and it automatically deletes the stick or anything within that particular stitch line. Whenever I take this traveling and doing some more fun adventure things, just go with this big thing. This is the Insta360 Extendo stick. It goes up to 3 meters, 300 centimeters. So that's around 10 feet. So this is 10 feet worth of length that you can attach your camera to. So you can use this whenever you're in a place where drones are not allowed, or you just want that extra reach and you don't have to worry about really aiming where you're filming. I love this thing. I was using the stick that it came with, and it did its job. But once I got this super long extendo stick, if you actually look at the grip, it's Insta360 and it's faint, but it's Sure too. So, you know, it is partnered with a company that does tripods, does monopods. So this is great. So I absolutely love this thing. But then again, you lose the compactness of it. You just want to be judicious when you want to use this. You're not going to do too many 360 shots anyway. So, you can attach it to your car to do that GTA look. You can have it in one or two scenes in a fun vlog or in a fun travel video, or if you want like one or two unique angles for a particular shot. I think it's worth the trouble bringing it, but you wouldn't film a full thing with just a 360 camera just because there is some warping. If you really want to level things out, it might be slightly more difficult, but this in complement with an action camera or mirrorless camera, you can do a whole lot of damage. It's not just my thing. Like, I do it for fun. I do it when I do some fun things with my friends, but it's not necessarily something that I will use for a cinematic thing, apart from my BTS and some of my events. But then also, unfortunately, if you want to have your stick stand alone, you'll have to get these like tripod stabilizers as well, because it only comes like this. And yeah, if you just hand holding things, cool. But if you want to set it someplace, you'll need to get it some legs. I got the Insta360 one because it has a wider base. I needed something wide because this is very, very tall. You need as much stability as you can. And these Insta360 base extends even further. So the longer that I extend this, the wider the base that I would want for more stability. Actually, you know what? Let's pop into a quick B-roll to see how cool the angles with a longer stick could be. Trying to do unedited, unproduced stuff. Let's just chat about the things that we have. But again, this is super cool. Like I said, if you really want to maximize your 360 camera, this is how you do it. Look at that. How does it look? Does it look like I have a drone following me? I'm just running and gunning this, guys. Just walking out, testing the gear that we have, but to really enjoy 360 cameras, you need a stick like this. And very strong forearms. Not gonna lie. New York, freaking tough place to live in, but when it's spring like this and you're able to walk through the park when it's not super duper crowded, it is a wonderful experience. Alright, I'm gonna put this up to the highest length. Maybe not the smartest idea because it's windy, but that's how it goes. I mean, 360 cameras you have to reframe, but that's also the benefit of being able to reframe, is I can use the same shot, look at a different angle. Right now you're looking at me. Oh no, windy. Stepping on the tripod because it's falling down because of the wind. But again, the benefit of the reframing is now you're looking at me, now you're looking at the trees. Now you're looking at me, but now you're looking at the trees. Same shot. So I can technically use the same placement of the camera, do multiple angles. If you're smart enough, if you're cinematic enough. I'm not. We're just doing this for fun. It's gonna be great. But yeah, let's go back to the studio and talk about all the other accessories that I like with my 360 camera. All right, just to round up this video about the Insta360 X4 of mine, and if and when I am going to be upgrading to the X5. And the more I think about it, I might actually just like run this ragged before I upgrade. Maybe I'll wait until the X6 where there's 8K, 120, replaceable lens. Maybe it's smaller, maybe it's lighter, whatnot, because that replaceable lens, I don't know if it's worth the $550 I have to drop, or if I have to sell this and then add a couple of more $100 for. Either way, I think I'm sticking with the X4. What do you guys think? Are you guys upgrading from the X4 to the X5? I still don't think the upgrades are enough. But speaking of that, let's end the video with some of the stuff that I really can't live without my X4. Of course, an extra battery. I know it's a pain. It actually pained me to buy this extra battery for my X4 because I had the X3. I had extra batteries there. But again, Insta360, whenever they upgrade to the next generation, they want you to pay a little bit more and buy most of your accessories yet again. So had to buy the extra battery for my X4. I know that you can charge your battery with the camera itself. You just plug this to a USB-C and it'll charge the battery. But I'm one of those people that when I exhaust both batteries, I want to charge them at the same time. So I had to get an Insta360 X4 charger. So that's yet another expense. But they're actually really good in giving you everything that you need when you buy the camera itself. Like this X4 came with its heat sink. So something that happens with 360 cameras, it gets really hot. So they had this heat sink to kind of like protect the camera and you from being burnt from the heat from the camera. Disperses a little bit more of that heat more efficiently. And I actually love that pouch that it came with. The only extra that I bought was, again, these lens protectors. Just for my peace of mind, I typically won't put them unless I'm going to do something extreme, but most of the time I raw dog it. So I have the extra lens protectors and I keep it in this little pouch. Of course, this will always save you. If you don't have this foldable stick yet, the silicone lens protector, and those lenses, although they're made of tough glass, you never want to run the risk of scratching them because it's a pain to repair. So those are my accessories for my X4. Long stick, foldable stick, extra battery, battery charger. Keep on using the pouch that it comes with, add a lens protector, and maybe make sure that you don't lose the silicone protector as well. Right, that is my X4 video. Just chatting with you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. And try to do more fun, loose videos. I think nowadays I want to increase the quantity a little bit more, interact with you guys on a person-to-person basis. Maybe like tone down on the quality. And, you know, we don't need super edits, too many B-rolls, I think. And I hope that you guys appreciate just raw, unfiltered, very honest conversation with you guys. So hit me up in the comments what you think about upgrading to the X5, what accessories you use with your 360 cameras, how do you use them? Do you use them to just, you know, film day-to-day stuff and activities? I love adventures. I just don't have as many opportunities as most people to do it. But whenever I do, I love bringing my X4 places. Anyway, thanks for hanging. Really appreciate you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.